Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here. I'm very happy today because we have some really good news about Bluebird, continuing from the good news that we had on Friday. Today the share prices seem to be moving up. We'll talk more about that. Let's get started. Friends, welcome back. I'm very happy today. My neutral expression is always either serious or sad, but today the happiness is coming through and you can see that on the screen. I'm very happy because while recording this video, the pre-market action is looking red. But despite that, Bluebird Bio is up 10% as of recording in pre-market action. One of our subscribers, Matthew from Germany, sent us a message this morning that Bluebird was up 18% in the German browsers early morning. I'm hoping that this trend continues as the markets open today on what is likely to be a very, very bearish day. Here is a note of thanks to Bluebird Bio CEO Andrew Obenshine and his team for having accomplished another great achievement. This means a lot to the entire genomics community and also all the genomics investors who are looking at seeing more monetization in this field so that it can enhance their confidence in investing in this field. And also it goes without saying that all the people who are suffering from various genetic impairment, they're all going to look at this with a great deal of optimism, and it's going to be a good time going forward for those people, and their conditions will improve. So with that said, now let's go to the depressing part of the news. The FedEx results and forecast indicate that the inflation fighting by various central banks is working, and demand destruction has sent the sales and production down, and the downtrend is likely to continue for the next quarter. At least that's my opinion based on what I have seen. FedEx in their earnings release had warned that a global recession could be coming as demands for their packages around the world tumbled, and it warned that a slowing economy could cause it to fall 500 million short of its revenue target. That is $500 million that we are looking at here. However, the market is now on top of that also looking at yet another 75 basis point interest rate hike that we all knew was going to happen. Such is the childish nature of the market, or as I compare it to a hyper alert deer in a forest. The deer will gallop at the slightest noise. That's how the market is behaving right now. The fear and greed index, as you can see here, is firmly back into the fear mode. This indicates another month of dragging prices and high volatility. Meanwhile, India has imposed a rice export ban in order to make sure that rice is available for its own population, because rice is a staple for most Indians. And that is likely to add to global inflationary pressures. Tension between China and Taiwan and USA is going up, as Biden recently said US will defend Taiwan if China was to attack. So all those things are adding up together to push the fear and greed index into fear. And with that said, let's take a look at the indices for what it's worth, because today overall it's going to be red, except for potentially Bluebird, which is likely to do much better. I still think that Bluebird can go all the way up to $10 or more, but I don't know if it will happen today and tomorrow, or it's going to be dragged down by all the negative sentiment in the market. But definitely a DCA, assuming that, even assuming that Bluebird is going to do equity dilution and brings on as many shares as it already has, then if you look at the peak that was 156, you can see the new peak potential could be around $75 when all the storm clouds clear. That's how I'm looking at it. Of course, my friends, this is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Always do your own due diligence before you invest in any shares, because I have been wrong many times, even in my own portfolio. I'm just a regular investor like you. I'm just sharing out my thoughts aloud with a YouTube channel. That's about it. So this is not financial advice. It's not a given. But from my perspective, it seems that Bluebird could go all the way up to 75 with equity dilution. And if there was some kind of a partnership with some other company where there's a sharing of profits and costs in the monetization of these two therapies, then also I think we'd be somewhere around 75. Otherwise, we are still looking at 150 as the peak. We have to see how Bluebird goes about it, because at this point of time, financing is expensive and borrowing is going to be expensive. So it's either going to be equity dilution or a strategic partnership with somebody, or maybe someone else takes over Bluebird, or Bluebird spins off a separate unit. You don't know what Bluebird is going to do, because they have done a spin-off in the past with very lucrative lines of medicine like the CAR-T therapy that they spun off, which I spoke about in my earlier video. So with that said, let's go and have a look at TradingView platform. Welcome back, friends. First, I would like to show you the fear and greed index out here. You can see that the fear and greed index has come firmly into the fear section, and we could potentially touch extreme fear before we go up, because there are factors, potential factors that could push us into extreme fear. One is the potential outbreak of hostilities between China and Taiwan, in which US is likely to be dragged in. So that could be one factor that we have to look out for. The second factor is with Russia being pushed back by Ukraine and winter coming in, Ukraine is going to try as best as possible to get into a solid position so that it doesn't have to fight during winter and just has to defend. So ideally, they are looking to take back all their territories, in my opinion. If that is happening, Putin is also facing a lot of problems within the Russian political circles, some calling for his resignation. So he's likely to take some decisive steps. Despite US warnings, he may potentially try to use a small tactical nuke or a small chemical weapon in order to regain the initiative. And that could also push us into extreme fear. So friends, be careful about that when you're looking at the market. At least that's my personal opinion. And the second chart that I want to show you is this chart from Coifin, which is, again, you can open an account with Coifin and have a look at these charts on your own. So I have taken a 1-year chart out here of all the major indices, the S&P 500, IWM, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq. They're all color coded, as you can see here. You can pause this video later on to revisit this chart. And I have drawn a channel out here, which is a bearish channel. Earlier, it was going up on a bullish channel. Now it's on a bearish channel, as you can see, bounded by the two black lines. So all the indices are moving downwards. I don't, if there is any rally, I don't think it's going to be considered to be a bull rally unless it crosses this upper line of upper diagonal line, black diagonal line of resistance. And there's a long way for that to happen. So any movement now is a rally in a bear market, which is likely to give up. So with that said, here we are in our TradingView platform, and I'm looking at the Nasdaq futures, and I can see that in the Nasdaq futures we are in a bear channel, and right now we are down 0.88% pre-market. So that's a very bearish outlook for the market. Let's go on to the indices. US oil is falling down further. Now this is indicating global weakness in the back of the FedEx reports and their forecasts. So this is the result of demand destruction. All the four simple moving averages are above the price chart for today, the candle for today, and we are falling. We have fallen 2.79% pre-market. That's good for the inflation statistic. And if you look at QQQ, again, we have fallen 1.12% today after having fallen minus 0.61% on Friday. And if you look at the chart out here, you can see that we had a line of support at 286.35. Right now we are at 286.08. So we have already fallen below this pre-market. So I'm just going to mark this as a line of resistance. So our next support, I'm going to draw one more line of support out here because I can see one more support coming up somewhere out here. This could potentially be the next line of support, and it's going to be at 278.43. So there is there's a bit of fall that could happen today, and we have to be prepared for that. S&P 500 is already down minus 0.82% pre-market, having fallen minus 1.17% yesterday. Again, as you can see, we are in a bear channel, and we have support out here, which is at 381.55. Right now we are at 382.40. So that's going to be the first support. The second support for us is going to be at 376.38. MACD is bearish. Momentum is also below average, so not much to expect there. Russell Industrial Average is down 1.05% after falling 1.45% on Friday, and it's also in a bear channel. It's in an overall bear channel. I'm just going to draw the channel out here so that you can visualize it. So this is the channel. This is the bear channel that we have here, and our next support is a minor support. The minor support is coming in somewhere at 176.01, and I'm just going to fine tune this, make it slightly better. Give me 1 minute, please. It's at 176.76, and pre-market we are at 177.11. So that's our first line of support, and the next line of support for us is at 172.14. MACD is bearish, momentum is also below average, nothing much to expect there. Next, let us look at Dow Jones Industrial Average. If you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we are already on a bear track. I'm just going to do the upper side of resistance of the bear channel. So this red line is the resistance for the bear channel. And today we are at 305.51, which is at the bottom of this candle out here. This is the candle for this is the candle for the 16th of September, which was Friday, and we are at the very bottom of the Friday candle. Our next support is going to be 301.49. MACD is bearish, momentum is also below average and pointed down. And if you look at VIX, VIX has just jumped up significantly. It has gone up 6.20% this morning. This is the candle for VIX today, and it's on a bull channel, which means it's bad for the stock markets. MACD is bearish, sorry, MACD is bullish, and momentum is above average and still has got a lot of way to move. So VIX is not slowing down anytime soon. Looking terrible out there. And if you look at the US dollar index, it's again on a bull channel. I'm going to draw the bull channel for you so that you can visualize it. This is the bull channel that we are talking about. I'm going to mark this as green because this is going to be the support line. And we also have support from the 10-day simple moving average, which is sitting at 13,215.05. So that's going to be the first support for us. Right now we are at 13,260.17. So that's our first support. The next level of support for us today is going to be at 13,174.25, which is going to be, sorry, 13,180, which is going to be this diagonal line of support, which has been with us all the way from 11th of August 2022. Our MACD is bullish, and momentum is also above average, and it's pointed upwards. So there's going to be more uptake in US dollar. And friends, I have told you before, Europe is finding it difficult to raise interest rates, so they may do quantitative tightening. So when the quantitative tightening takes effect, euro will become a bit stronger. Till then, I think US dollar is going to be the king of the block, and as a result of which imports are going to become much cheaper for the US, and manufacturing and export is going to suffer. That will lead to layoffs and unemployment, and that will push us into a recession before things get better, because the Fed is going to hike the interest rate by 75 basis points. And what happens when US dollar interest rates are up? US dollar becomes more attractive compared to other foreign currencies which do not hike their interest rates, and therefore we're going to see a spurt in the US dollar index, and that is going to pull funds into the safety of the US dollar, where there is a guaranteed high interest rate return. So that's what is going to create a problem for us for the stock market, because funds are going to get into the US dollar index. With that, my friends, I'm going to go and have a look at the index movers to see what they are doing. If I look at Amazon, it's down 1.04%. And if I look at Google, Google is down 1.15% pre-market. Apple is down 0.95% pre-market. Microsoft is down minus 0.97% pre-market. So all of them are looking weak. They are going to drag the indices down. Crypto markets are not doing any better either. Bitcoin is as weak as we have seen in the long time. It's around 18,000. So this was my first level of support. It's at 18,637.9. And we have Bitcoin at 18,653.2. So you can see that this is going to be our first defense. And my second line of support is going to be at 18,637.9. And after that, we have support at 16,527. Friends, I have been telling for a long time, when it reaches 16,521, I'm definitely going to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, because that, I think, is a point where it's going to bounce off. Right now, MACD is turned bearish. Momentum is also below average and pointed downwards, not getting any better. Now, if I look at commodities, we can see that recession is coming, because wheat is down 0.42%. Copper is down minus 1.74%. So commodities are also showing weakness. And now let's look at genomics. In genomics, I think Verve has got no trades pre-market. Caribou Biosciences is down 1.06% pre-market. Bluebird is up 6.47%. Early morning when I looked at it, it was up 16%. Then it was up 10%. It's down 6.47% right now. By the looks of it, by the time the market opens, right now it is 7:38. By the time the market opens, we will be slightly positive. But I think Bluebird is a good buy at this point of time. It's worth buying. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. Editas is down 1.28% pre-market. PSCB is down 2.49% pre-market. Invitae is down 2.52% pre-market. Beam is up 0.23% pre-market. CRISPR Therapeutics is down minus 0.75 pre-market. No trades for ARCG. DNA is down 1% pre-market. Teladoc is down 1.61% pre-market. IMTX no trades pre-market. Intelia down 0.76% pre-market. However, I think Intelia should end up at least neutral or positive when the market opens. SQZ Biotech got no trades pre-market. IDNA has no trades pre-market. Allogene no trades pre-market. Illumina no trades pre-market. So on the whole, my friends, I think it's going to be a bloodbath in the markets today. That's what it looks like at this point of time, 7:30 a.m. in the morning in Toronto. So I'm thinking that I would rather focus on Bluebird today and enjoy a little bit of positive while everything else is red. And also I would take the opportunity to dollar cost average wherever I can with whatever little funds I have. I just have funds on the Canadian side, and I would like to potentially invest that on stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Google, those kind of stocks, because I think there's a good dollar cost average potential out there for the long-term investment. Unfortunately, I cannot use the Canadian side funds for buying Bluebird or Intelia, basically because they're not quoted in the Canadian deposit receipt. So I can't invest them through my Canadian funds. If I had US dollar funds in my US dollar side, I would definitely have bought them, but I don't have any funds remaining on the US dollar side, and most of my portfolio is red. So unless I think that one of my US stocks is in a bad condition and it's better to sell it off with a loss and buy something like Bluebird or Intelia or CRISPR or IMTX, then I would potentially try to do that today. But from my memory, I don't think I have that opportunity. That, my friends, brings me to an end of this video. If you like the video, please do not hesitate to press the like out there. It helps YouTube promote our channel to more people like you who are looking for genomics content, and we have plenty of that here. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help me reach the 1,000 mark. We are at 650 plus, and we just need to reach there. So if you're watching our videos and if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe, or send a link to a friend of yours who is interested in genomics and get them to have a look at our channel and to subscribe to us. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.